Ruslan Kingstream Entertainment.
Hey, while you wait for the next video to start, let me show you a quick behind the scenes of our studio. Right here, this is our editing bay. This is where me and my full-time team member, Zach Sparazzo, come up with the concepts for the videos, edit the intros, the outros, all that good stuff. Back here, this is where we do all the shooting. We have yeah. Prophetic utterances, they coming from the top down. When the king on the means of production is no cop-out. And to be clear, his name is Christ Jesus. Came down to the heathens, kicked it for a lifetime to make the scales even. If I ever feel invisible like I've been ghosted, I just remember how they treated the son of Joseph. I just remember what life was like on 33rd Street. Tummy aching, ribs showing, and plus I'm thirsty. But no weapon formed against me can hurt me. See, I have seen the mountaintops and I'm hoping they heard me.
They prophesied me when I was 4, I would be that guy. Drip the water on me, I spiritually baptized. God still get on me, I get critically chastised. Got enough vision for my front and for my backside. But one woman, I don't wanna be none like you rap guys. I took shorty the tight end, cause she wanna eat pad thai. Sound like the fat guy who made the videos about the frat guys and how little baby is like the magi. Remember when my auntie Nan thought I'd be a failure? Man, dawg, didn't I try to tell you? Ever since I got my banks up like I'm Azalea. Now groupies hit me up to show they genitalia.
Hold up, to be clear, we decide, but foggy to be fair, that might be TMI. Even I see past all the lifeless mannequins. See him fly, stay skywalking like a mannequin.
If you sugarcoat ish, they gon' say they feel you. But if you spit that real ish, they gon' try to kill you. But I can't hold none back, cause ish be too real. Cry me and Timberlake like Jessica Biel. I don't feel none of pressure, I be too chill. Independent, I ain't take a new deal. Oh, I had to put my ego aside. I put my pride to the side like Marty McFly.
Yup, time travel, just peep the almanac. Calling plays behind the scenes, and plus our quarterback, I only fail forward. There's no way I'm holding back. Time tested, oh, you ain't never heard of that. These ancient truths, you can call them older facts. 45 for 40 days and 40 nights, 40 racks on him, but I'ma need like 4 of that. Robin Hood capped out, you know I ain't going back. Going back, going back, going back, going back, going back, going back. Hey, while you wait for the next video to start, let me show you a quick behind the scenes of our studio. Right here, this is our editing bay. This is where me and my full-time team member, Zach Sparazzo, come up with the concepts for the videos, edit the intros, the outros, all that good stuff. Back here, this is where we do all the shooting. We have sliders, we have lighting, cameras, equipment, 4K projector, and guess what? All this stuff costs money. As we work towards improving the quality of our live stream, moving from regular 1080p to 4K streaming, and our videos, making them more interesting, expanding the team with hopefully more team members, improving the equipment, we want to help you guys partner with us in a creative way. So super chats of any kind on these live streams will be prioritized to get your question or comment highlighted and a shout out from me to you. And it's a great way for you to support what we're doing here and our hope to expand and grow the channel to reach more people. So all you got to do is click the little $sign, which will probably be synced up to your Apple ID account if you're an Apple user. Put in an amount of any kind, confirm it with your comment and question, and voila. Easy way for you to support our channel, support what we're doing here, and while at the same time guaranteeing that your question will get answered.
Kingstream Entertainment. Ruslan.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Appreciate everybody tuning in to the after party stream. I'm going to be addressing any questions you may have about the previous stream and chopping it up with you guys. Of course, super chats will be prioritized. I think they'll even come up on the screen. Okay, so let's talk about it. So for starters, I'm curious how many of you guys think that Instagram in general adds a net positive to your life? How many of you guys believe that? If you think Instagram adds a net positive to your life, I want you to drop a P in the chat. If you think Instagram adds a net negative to your life, I want you to drop a N for no. Okay? Let's unpack this together, okay? Because the conversation is, should Christians have a safe space on Instagram? So drop it in the chat. If you think Instagram, yeah, we're live for real, Kenny. Shout out to you. If you think Instagram adds a net positive to your life, drop a P. And if it adds a net negative to your life, drop a N, okay? I'll show you my hand off the rip. I don't have Instagram. So it's not like I'm preaching something that I'm not practicing. I'm actually practicing this. I don't have Instagram on my phone. We have a work iPad. I don't even know where it's at. And everything that gets posted from my Instagram is from my work iPad. A lot of times it's not even me. It's Zach Sparazzo that's posting it. So if we all generally, it seems like the chat is saying and somewhere in the middle. The song is the intro off my new album called Love What You Do. So you can check that out. So if you think Instagram adds a net positive to your life, tell me why. I'm curious, right? Tell me why. I'm guessing this just started. Yes, Montana Viking, this definitely just started. Tell me why. Why does Instagram add a net positive? It sounds like most people are saying Instagram, as a rule of thumb, doesn't add a net positive to your life. So if Instagram doesn't, when did I stop using Instagram? Well, I still use Instagram, but I see the difference is I use Instagram and I'm not the product. If you guys didn't know, Instagram, TikTok, whenever you're not paying for a service, you're usually the product that they're selling to people. Even YouTube. This is why I recommend you guys get YouTube Red. Not sure if you guys knew this, but YouTube also makes you the product by running ads in front of you. Whereas you could pay YouTube Red, I think it's $12 a month, $17 for the family plan, and you see no ads. Because I'm paying for a service, I am no longer the product. We have YouTube Red, my wife, myself, Zach Sparazzo, we're all on the same little account. Nobody sees ads on YouTube. So if you are not paying for a service, that means you are the product. Your data is being sold to you. So if we're going to be honest, that generally speaking, not for everybody, but generally speaking, most of us aren't having a net positive contribution from Instagram. I'm very confused on just the expectations we have of these platforms, of people on these platforms. That's the part I'm so perplexed. Somebody said that memes are immaculate. I follow people that inspire me. I try to share the gospel on IG and people appreciate it. So KS, you would say it is a positive for you. Okay, respect. So again, it sounds like you're using it as a utility. You're using it as a mission field. Is that fair? Right? When you're using it and you're the producer, it's different. If you're if you're not a meme channel, if you're not sharing the gospel, if you're not making videos, generally speaking, I think we would agree that it is a net negative. Is that fair? Is that fair? Instagram has greater community space. How do we get on gay Christians? Interesting. Okay, so if we're going to acknowledge that your data is being sold, that it's there as a distraction, that it's usually not adding a net positive to your life. It's playing the comparison game, right? The anxiety, depression amongst young people increases on Instagram. Everyone's living a fake curated life on Instagram. I'm curious where we come up with these expectations of Instagram has to be a safe space for Christians. Generally speaking, I'm perplexed. It's IG is a utility. It's a mission field where people are so we can reach them. Absolutely. It's a mission field, just like TikTok, just like anything else you're using. So if it's a mission field and you know what time it is, you know that they're there to sell you things, right? And it's a tool for those of us that are creators. I'm perplexed on why we have expectations of people. Now, that's not to say that Beyonce's album cover is appropriate. I think you guys misunderstood my position. I don't think that album cover is a net positive. I don't think that she's a net I think she's very sad and confused woman in her 40s having a midlife crisis. Beside the point, right? Just like I think the person who runs a brewery or sells alcohol, has a bar, runs a casino, is also not in a good space, right? It's my opinion. I think it's a generally true statement. So if these things are not necessarily the people, we know the people, you think Instagram cares about your mental health and your sanity and your spiritual development? Like, is that what we think? You know? And again, it doesn't mean it can't be a mission field, right? I think it's beyond reasonable to say, yeah, they could be a mission field. And for some people, it could be a mission field who are equipped to go into strip clubs and preach the gospel. There's literally a ministry in San Diego called JC Girls, and it's a bunch of women that go into strip clubs, they pay women for lap dances, and they preach the gospel to them. Generally speaking, though, most men would say, yeah, that's not a mission or a ministry I get to be a part of. Right? Is that fair? Are there any safe spaces for Christians? Absolutely. Church. 100%. Church is a safe space, yeah? Bible study, conferences, right? Right? The choice is on us to give into lust, kind of like the fruit being present in the Garden of Eden and Eve into temptation. But we have the Spirit to empower us. Absolutely. And we have wisdom, right? And we have wisdom. Right? Well, you guys know, I'm not sure if you guys know, you guys know Instagram's changing the algorithm to make it more like TikTok. Do you guys know that? Instagram's algorithm is changing so that you're not going to see people who you follow anymore. They're starting to put random stuff in front of you. I'm not sure if you know that. That's true, though. Right? Do we know that? Instagram is changing their algorithm to make it like TikTok. Okay? Again, can we be on TikTok? Can we be on Instagram? Can we be on YouTube? Absolutely. But we have to be sober about what these platforms are. Right? We have to be sober about what these platforms are. And a lot of times, they're not your safe space. I hate to break it to you. They're not your safe space. It's not church. It's not Bible study. It's not for you to feel comfortable. That's not what they're for. Right? And they're showing you that. So you guys are acting like I'm saying something hypocritical. I'm literally telling you I am not on Instagram.
You guys think I'm stupid. I'm not stupid, guys. I know this.
If you're watching this, give this video a quick thumbs up real quick. As a female who's intentional with my dress, I feel disrespected by guys who aren't modest. If I can limit most of my own, yes. If I can limit most of my option, guys can help too. Absolutely. So Eric, I agree with you that you can filter and you can curate, but there's a difference, and this is why I call cap on the person who's saying, this is causing me to stumble. This is why I call cap on it, because I think it's people being uncomfortable. I think it's people being uncomfortable with certain things and not actually being caused to stumble. That's what I think it is. I think it's certain people feeling uncomfortable, and because they feel uncomfortable, then they weaponize the I'm so on and so forth, and voiding the context of what's actually of what's happening here. So if somebody makes a good video that's helpful and they, used a photo that may have not been the wisest photo to use, great. Let's have the wisdom conversation. If I'm wearing a pair of Jordans to a soup kitchen, or if I am shirtless on the beach and you're like, man, Ruslan, your abs are freaking shredded, bro. This might cause someone okay, so let's have that wisdom conversation. If I post a photo of me and my son, you see, this is all interconnected for me. Some of you guys are like, you're scarred from legalism. Maybe. Maybe. I'm not going to say I'm not. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm scarred from legalism. Right? Shout out to the super chat. Let me prioritize this. Shout out to the super chat. Ruslan based. We should be encouraging personal responsibility over corporate responsibility. This is a Christian sanctification. Right? Yeah, that's good. In Montana Viking, I know what the scripture says. I just went over them. The issue is that's the scriptures is not talking about causing somebody to stumble in a flippant, hey, I'm uncomfortable with this, whatever, fill in the blank thing. Okay? The scripture is causing somebody to actually go and sin. Right? To actually go and sin. And my point, I'll stand by it. If that picture actually causes you to go down the rabbit hole, and I was in a place once upon a time in my life where that was me. So guess what? I had to get off Instagram. You know? This is a good point. Conservative Christians are all, including me, are all about personal responsibility until it's about our own lust.
You guys think I'm stupid. I'm not stupid, guys. I know this.
So, I'm well aware of what the scriptures say about causing somebody to stumble. But what I'm saying is, causing somebody to stumble is knowing you're an alcoholic and me inviting you to my house and putting alcohol in front of you. Right? That's what that is. That's what that is. It's putting alcohol in front of you. Here. That's what that is. So no, I don't think, first of all, the video didn't get a million views, Montana Viking. I think you're giving him too much credit. But the video got 300,000 views. The video got 300,000 views, right? Do I think that out of those 300,000 people that watched the video, that is it possible that someone somewhere saw that picture and they went and sinned afterwards? Is it possible? Is it possible? Sure, it's possible. My pushback will be, my brother, you made your mind up a long time ago if you were going to go sin or not. Right? Causation versus correlation. Is there a correlation of 1 million people who saw the impression rate? Right? 1 million people saw that thumbnail. Let's go down this and just unpack this together. 1 million people saw that. 1 million people. Thank you for the super chat, Rich, Eric. Appreciate you. 1 million people saw that thumbnail. Okay. Is it possible that out of those 1 million people, someone somewhere went and then looked at PORN afterwards? It's possible. My pushback would be causation and not correlation. That thumbnail didn't cause anyone to do that. The correlation may be there, but it's not the same as causation. I think you made up your mind a long time ago if you were going to go do that. Before you, and probably thinking, oh, I shouldn't be on YouTube today. And you were trying to find any little thing to take you down a slippery slope. Right? David said, why did you go to the strip and bring your 7-year-old? Also, did you let the girls in bikinis take pictures with your son? No, I didn't let the girls in bikinis take pictures with my son. So, again, not sure. Who's been to Vegas? Who's been to Vegas? Has anybody been to Vegas? I'm curious. Has anybody been to Vegas? First of all, Vegas is not just like all casinos and whatever. We stayed at what we discovered was the most family-friendly hotel in Vegas, which is the Mirage, according to the research we did. So we stayed at the most family-friendly hotel in Vegas, which was the Mirage. They got lions, they got tigers and dolphins on site, the whole bit. And so we stayed at that hotel, and you know what's on the strip? A roller coaster. You know what else is on the strip? The M&M store. You know what else is on the strip? Malls. You know what else is on the strip? A replica of the Eiffel Tower. Eric said, we filter our IG, we guard our eyes. We should not have to filter Christian leaders on IG or YouTube. Okay, well, we'll come back to that. So if you've never been to Vegas and you don't know what's out there, why assume the worst about me? Because that's kind of how the question comes off, David, respectfully. Right? We were at the Excalibur too. So if you've ever been to Vegas and you've been on the Strip, you know it's not just strippers running around naked. That's not what Vegas is. Right? There's all kinds of stuff. Vegas has turned into a family-friendly situation. Right? There's restaurants, the Gordon Ramsay restaurant, all these different things. So if you're in Vegas and you're like, yo, we want to go to the M&M store. We want to go to the Gordon Ramsay restaurant. Right? I didn't. It's the way you presented Vegas and what to expect. No. This is this is the part where we miss it. We're missing it. We're missing it. Again, just let's unpack this together. Let's stop thinking of everything as good or bad. There are places that are both good and bad. Right? Is it possible that you are avoiding being accountable for posting? What sexual photos? What are you talking about? What sexual photos did I post? I play games I play by the rules of Christian YouTube because I just don't want the headache. What sexual photos did I post? This is the hilarious part, how accusatory this stuff gets. What did I post? No, really, what did I post? I didn't post Beyonce uncovered. I came to the defense of my friend. I post Beyonce's face. And some people will be caused to stumble because of that. So, back to Vegas. Vegas is neither good nor bad. It just is. And there's good and there's bad. And there's churches and there's Christians that love Jesus that live there. And there's people that are complete degenerate gamblers. Some of them are our Uber drivers. Okay? So if I'm in Vegas and we decide to go on the Strip, just like if I'm in Southern California and we decide to go to the beach, just like if I'm in South Beach, just like if I'm in Times Square, just like if I'm wherever, I don't go into those places expecting safe spaces. I go into those spaces and expect I'm on the Las Vegas Strip. Right? And I train my children to know that there may be things out there that they're uncomfortable with. And they're G's. They roll with it. They're not startled by a woman in a bikini. Maybe we're just built different. Maybe because we started having these conversations so early on, these things don't affect us like that. Right? Now, maybe I'm the exception to the rule. Sure. But I'm just saying it's very pretentious to to assume that everybody who goes to Vegas is there intentionally seeking debauchery. Shout out to Paul Morgan there in the chat. I didn't see your comment. It's on the other screen. What about the third category guy, though? So the third category guy, I told you. I told you this over text, Paul. I think the third category guy is the person that's uncomfortable. And there's nothing wrong with being uncomfortable. Right? Like, if I go out to Vegas and there are girls in bikinis and there's, walking around taking random pictures with people, we have to ask ourselves the question, am I entitled to a safe space on Vegas? I want to go to the M&M store, and they were literally right outside the M&M store. Just wild. Think about it, right? You're just out there chilling. You have to ask yourself the question, what's up? Oh, you got my ice? Thank you. Is that you're not going to be in a shot if you walk by. My wife doesn't want to be on the stream. I'm talking about the girls in Vegas next to the M&M store asking to take pictures with Levi. You wanna hop on, babe? Let's see if we can get an appearance from my wife. Oh! You can totally play devil's advocate, truther. Absolutely. Okay, so if I'm there and that's the environment we're in, how do I expect them to accommodate me? Right? I think that's a reasonable frame of mind, whether you're at the beach, wherever. And so I'm categorizing Instagram, social media, TikTok in that category. Put it there. Some of you guys, you should never go to the Vegas Strip. Ever. Should never go to the Vegas Strip. You should never go to the beach. You should never go to the pool. Respect. There was a time in my life where I was like that. I'm not even saying that I'm this superhero, right? I don't like social media. I don't like Instagram. I think it's a waste of my time. But some of you guys, you can go there and you're not going to, oh, I'm going to think a lustful thought about this girl in a bikini who's on the Vegas Strip and go do nasty things to myself in the hotel room. Right? About to go again, but not with my kids, though they do have stuff for kids. Thank you, Eric, for having my back. Eric been pressing me this whole time. Right? Thank you, Eric. Yes, they do have stuff for kids. So if we're there and you're on the strip and you have stuff for kids, last time we were in Vegas, unprompted, my daughter walked in front of me so they couldn't hand me flyers to the strip club. We didn't get any flyers to the strip club, just to be fair. That's not what happened. That did not happen. But there was girls out there, right? And so, hey, is it uncomfortable? Yes. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging that you're uncomfortable in a situation. And that's what I'm saying. I think that third category exists, but I don't think that third category is being caused a sin. I think that third category is just saying, I'm kind of uncomfortable with this. And I'm going to say respect. It's okay to be uncomfortable. It's fine. It's okay to be uncomfortable. Would we elevate it to the category of I'm uncomfortable and I'm going to send Walmart an email that they have the Beyonce album cover? Would you guys do that? Honest question. Honest question. Walmart is a Christian establishment, by the way. So they claim. If you Google like top Christian entrepreneurs, right? Google top Christian entrepreneurs. If you're in Walmart or if you're in Vegas or wherever, are you going to send an email to the Walmart manager?
You guys think I'm stupid. I'm not stupid, guys. I know this.
So I think Paul is in the third category. And by the way, you guys take the categories way too literally. You're saying there's only 3 categories? How dare you? Okay, guys, there could be as many categories as you want. I don't care. Okay? I don't care. Okay? The way I see it is like giving a smartphone to your teenagers. They can come across crazy stuff. If you go to Vegas, you have the same responsibility of protecting them. Absolutely. Absolutely. And by the way, I would take my kids to Vegas before I give them a smartphone. That's definitely not happening for a long time, like 16, 17 years old, right? So if you wouldn't send Walmart an angry email, if you wouldn't pull the manager to the side, at Walmart, well, why would we send Alan Parr an angry email? Walmart's a Christian business. You're in a public space. There's a quote-unquote explicit photo in a public space, right? Why would you not? I'm really curious. Like, help me understand. Why would you not? If all things are equal and we need and the Walmart is a public space. No, because Walmart's managers isn't responsible for individual choices and struggles. For me, discomfort occurs when I feel trapped. The environment is sensually overwhelming. To me, that's different from briefly seeing a certain photo in a Walmart checkout. Okay, and are you saying that that Alan Parr's Instagram thumbnail has you trapped? Really? I would speak to Walmart if I lived in America. Cap. Avoiding potential pushback that you would receive if you did. You would have, okay, yeah, because you know the comment about Taylor Swift not having album covers like Beyonce was off to me. I don't think people would be calling Taylor explicit if she was a horse in a swimsuit. We'd say that's country. I mean, so then are there double standards? Are there double standards based on how a woman's body is built? You guys don't want to have that conversation. Right? So Taylor Swift can be on a horse in a bikini, and we wouldn't call that explicit. Right? We wouldn't call that explicit. Or would we? I don't know. I mean, honestly, I've never even seen that. I've never even seen that cover. So I have no idea. Alan brought it up. right? So, I mean, do you guys really want to go there? Do you guys really want to go there? Is it less about what the woman is wearing and the picture and the composition of the picture, and is it more about how the woman is built? Black women also tend to be sexualized more than white women. I don't think we're ready for that conversation, though. Right? Ain't nobody stumbling seeing Vladimir Putin on a horse. Well, how do you know, Montana Viking? You mean to tell me out of the millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of women who saw that photo, none of them were going to be caused to stumble because maybe they're into 55-year-old dad bods that are kind of slightly built, that are shirtless? How do you know? You see? You see, we don't have just scales for these things. It's in the mind of the observer, not the outfit being seen. I feel gradually the church is becoming like the world. Little by little, we won't be able to differentiate between the lifestyle of a Christian and that of the people. No, I think you're conflating the lifestyle of a Christian and not flipping out every time a Christian does something you're uncomfortable with. Not a shot at Paul and Morgan. I think Paul handled himself amazingly. And I think me and Alan Parr were all very clear on that. So this is not a shot at Paul and Morgan. No, I think there are certain things we are more tolerant of based on the context. Most of you guys aren't flipping out if it was Taylor Swift in a bikini or whatever that was that Beyonce was wearing on a horse. Why? Because Taylor Swift is built different. Right? But is there someone somewhere that would be caused to stumble if it was based on that definition of stumble? Some women definitely stumble. Some women definitely stumble by, hold on, by sight in high school. I had friends who would walk so dirty about the baseball players. Fuck Master Flex Bomb. Western Christians. That's just me. I see the environment stuck in an uncomfortable place for a lengthy period of time. Different than quickly seeing something that I could just close and move on from. Yes. When you feel entrapped in an environment where you don't drink, you have a problem with drinking, all of a sudden you're in an environment and you feel pressured to drink, right? And folks kind of knew that this was a thing for you. That's what causing somebody to stumble is. That is what that looks like, right? It's having a liberty and being flippant about your liberty in someone's face, right? That's what I'm talking about. And I would say in that context, yeah, that's foul. That's foul. I'll give you a different example. If you got friends that are doing Daniel fast or Whole30 or they're not doing sugar or they're doing vegan for a month and you keep putting meat in front of them, I would say that's pretty foul. That's pretty foul. You guys think that Paul stopped eating meat. He didn't stop eating meat. You won't find a single scholar, a single theologian that'll be like, yeah, Paul stopped eating meat when he wrote that. No, he didn't. It's called hyperbole. The language is different. There's multiple literary devices they use in that passage. He didn't literally stop eating meat. He's saying, as a point of reference, don't do it in a way that's going to cause somebody just back off. That's what he's saying. Right? So, back to the original question. Eric, I don't understand. You keep making this accusation. Do you realize that you're being disrespectful to Christians who struggle less? My brother, how am I being disrespectful? Unpack this for me further. Because I really don't understand. I am not coddling people. I am not saying, well, yeah, it's just a hard world out there. And, no, I'm saying, hey, man, when I was in this space, the best thing that could have been done for me was a little bit of tough love and being told, get your butt off the internet. Get your butt off the internet. That would have been the best thing for me. Girl meets skin. We're not on this. Eric is on this, right? Eric's on this. I was ready to move on. We were talking about modesty as a principle. So, like, how is this causing anybody? How is that being disrespectful? Ruslan is saying, take your lust addiction very seriously. Thank you, Paul. My hero. He came to my defense, guys. Appreciate you. Men should start being more modest in dress too. Short shorts, being shirtless. If we are holding women to a high standard, let's keep the same energy regardless of gender. And that was what the video was about, right? That is what the video was about, was do we keep the same scales for men? And is it contextual? Is it contextual? Is it contextual? Right? I'll give you an example. This is a great question. So me and Alan Parr have had this conversation. Here's an example of men in modesty. And this isn't just for physical appearance. This is more like flaunting wealth, right? Flaunting wealth. Like Alan's always made the point where like, hey, as a Christian, you shouldn't flex. We shouldn't flex with our lifestyle, right? Like it would probably be goofy for me if I lived in a big old house and I was making content like Andrew Tate. That would be definitely a form of immodesty, right? That would be a form of immodesty. So I think there's right? So because I think it's the way something appears, right? I'll give you an example. The pastor, Whitehead, the Bishop Whitehead, on Instagram, and after he got robbed, there was a collage of videos of him on Instagram in designer clothes with big old thousands of dollars a chain, right? That is immodest for a pastor to be on Instagram with millions of dollars of apparel on him, right? That, I think, is a fair statement, right? Now, does that mean that having a gold ring or a nice necklace is wrong? No. That means that overdoing it as a way to peacock is the issue. And the tough part about that is you just don't know when someone is peacocking, when someone is not. I got my buddy KB. He owns 2 Teslas, right? I don't think he's ever put his Teslas on the internet. I think he's ever put his Teslas on the internet. KB, he's shredded, right? I don't think I've ever seen a picture of KB shirtless, right? There's someone that has valuable possessions, and there's nothing wrong with having valuable possessions or being built, and they're not flaunting it, right? That's a great example, I think. Right, that's why they robbed him. So yeah, men in modesty, where are those lines drawn? The issue is it's not, you want to draw hard lines in the sand where they're subjective to context. This is the part where Christians lose it. You lose the context and the nuance of it, right? And again, what is the context of a man being shirtless? When is it inappropriate? Probably at church, probably in an office building, probably at dinner, probably in a public gym like a LA Fitness or 24 Hour Fitness. We all agree on that. When may it be appropriate for a man to train with his shirt off? Probably when he's in a private studio. Probably when he's in his home. Maybe if he's a fitness influencer, right? When would it be appropriate? In those contexts. So my buddy Trizzle Fitness, who's a Christian, loves Jesus. This man's adopting babies left and right. If he were to always walk around with his shirt off, it would be weird. It would be immodest. We all agree. But if he's on Instagram giving you guys fitness stuff as a man of God, we wouldn't say that's inappropriate. We would say he has a fitness channel. If Jeff Cavalier from Athlete X has a fitness channel, he's literally shirtless and he's drawing on his muscles to give you the context of if you hit a overhead shoulder press, right? You get really, 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 really goofy.
That's goofy.
When you start drawing hard lines and saying, hey, you should never be shirtless. I mean, excuse me, you should never be shirtless. It's always inappropriate to be shirtless. Well, what if this person runs a fitness business online? Right? What if this person... And so can a woman who struggles with lust go and look up Trizzle Fitness because I told her about him and then say, oh my gosh, he's so well built? And it like, I think that's a stretch, fam. I think that's a stretch. But we all agree that there's certain contexts that it's absolutely inappropriate for a man to be with his shirt off, that it's immodest. We agree. Yes, okay, we agree. However, here are the contexts in which it's appropriate. Yes, thank you. The Reform Mind. We got some reform brothers on my side. I appreciate you. The tyranny of the weaker brother is a problem. Come on. My dad believed he would stumble his whole life with sin and let stumbling blocks in his life and ended up abusing me in my sleep. Gosh, they need self-love and accountability. And this is the part where, like, listen, what you believe about these things will determine how you behave. If you believe you're a slave to sin and you have no, and anything left and right, like, this is where I talk about culture, and this is why I'm poking. I'm poking on purpose because I think this is problematic, fam. Because I'm not saying everybody's going to do this, but I'm just saying if you walk around with this defeated mindset that you can never get, I never have breakthrough. This is just always going to be in my life. Right? Well, that's a really dangerous way to think about yourself, your sexuality, and women's bodies. You mentioned the Council of Trent. Would you be interested in making a video with him about Catholicism and where you disagree? I could help you connect. Sure, I would love to connect with Council of Trent. Not like that's not really my forte, but yeah, I would love to figure out where we agree and disagree and all that good stuff. So what if you are a Christian and a sex education professor? Talk about context, right? Weaker and stronger is weaker and stronger is a wrong designation. It should be sensitive and less sensitive. That's the idea meaning. Has nothing to do with weak or strong spiritually. The modest conversation needs to be more nuanced. It's not just no crop tops. It can be immodest to post the perfect quiet time. Ooh. It could be immodest to post the perfect quiet time? Wow. That's good. That's good. Wow. Come on, D. D's going in, right? So, again, let's all come back. Let's bring it full circle. Let's bring it full circle. And shout out to Jay Perry. We excuse misbehavior within weakness. If you have a problem with alcohol, don't go to bars. So let's bring it all the way around. We agree that men being shirtless at a public gym, at church, in the office, at the grocery store, is immodest. We all agree. Correct. Hopefully we can all agree on that. Okay. Yet, we agree that there are times where it may be appropriate for a Christian man to be shirtless. There's the obvious ones, like in his home and in the shower, but then there's the more nuanced ones, like, hey, going to the gym or going to the pool. And then we would say, and then there are Christian men who are fitness professionals or are in private gyms, are training other people. Maybe they're making YouTube videos, and maybe they're showing people how to, and that helps. And I got a bunch of Christian friends in the fitness space that do that. Now, the conclusion that some of you guys are making is that they're immodest, period, for just having their shirt off. Regardless on the context. Regardless on it's a context of a man wearing, being shirtless, training in his own home or at a private gym. And that's I just want to be clear. That's the conclusion you guys are making? I also think it's intention. I used to post shirtless pics for attention. As I got more serious about my walk, I went and deleted all of them. So, John Clash, would you disagree with me then that if you wanted to have a fitness business, hypothetically, let's just say, you got super passionate about fitness and you decided, I'm going to do a fitness business, like my buddy Trizzle Fitness. And I want to do stuff with my shirt off because, one, it helps focus what muscle groups we're working on. Maybe you copy the Jet Cavalier thing and you start drawing on specific pec muscles. And two, it helps with the credibility because you actually look the part to give advice. Would you say that that is wrong? I don't think you would say that. I feel like I know you well enough. Yeah, Carl Lentz is a great example of that, right? Raven said, I posted pics to inspire everyone. I posted pics to inspire people. Everyone has their motives. God knows mine. I just wanted to show people that they could do it. That's exactly why I posted shirtless photos on my 35th birthday. You get more mature in your walk, and what you did 5 years ago, hopefully you aren't doing today, like posting for attention on social media. Right, and you see how much of this is the intent, right? How much of this is the intent, right? By the way, when I turn 40, I'll probably post another shirtless photo shoot, just so you guys know. I'm 37, I'll be 38 this year. When I turn 40, I'll probably do another shirtless photo shoot. It's not because I want women to stumble. I mean, unless something really wild were to happen, like all of a sudden I had this wildly predominant women audience, right? Then I would be like, we'll look at it. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But 70, 80% of you guys are men, okay? It's pretty much always hot here. I walk in without a shirt, and ladies gonna be in swimsuits and shorts. Out like where? Where are you at? Where are you at? It's a good question. How do you feel about having female friends as a man and having male friends as a female? I ain't got no female friends. I got acquaintances, and I got like family friends. I got, folks that like I may do business with, but no. No. John Clash said, no, it's not wrong, but we do know many fitness trainers because there are thoughts on the low. Whoa! I did not know that. Modesty is about cultural awareness. As Christians, conforming to certain cultural norms is part of our scriptural mandates to become all things to all men for the sake of the gospel. Interesting. To certain cultural norms. Obviously not cultural norms that are crossing the line of sin. Right? You had a woman in the last chat earlier that said you would be a stumbling block. Said that you would be a stumbling block. Wait, hold on. You had a woman in the last chat earlier that said you would be a stumbling block to her, I'm guessing. I'm not lying. So there was a woman that said that if I did a shirtless photo shoot, that it would be a stumbling block to her. Is that for real? I'm really curious. That's I'm flattered, but that's wild to me. Now, it's also the context, right? Now, if I posted some super sus sensual photo with like the lighting all weird, that would be weird. That would be weird. Can we agree that would be weird? That would be weird, right? Right? That would be weird. I'm like, just super zesty photos. Ruslan, by the way, the cultural location point could be true. I sometimes wonder if growing up with minimal female interactions, no sisters had an effect on my life. That's a good point. I said I saw a topless pic and had to unfollow. Hold on. Follow, but love you, brother and sister. I said I saw a topless pic and had to unfollow. Yeah, a topless pic of me? I'm so confused. Your boy's about 10 pounds overweight, so I'm probably about 15 pounds overweight, to keep it a buck with you guys. But I don't think if I posted a shirtless photo now, it would be hopefully. I don't know. Listen, maybe I'm too liberal, but if you're stumbling block cause a girl in a space, that's your problem. Okay, hold on, Leah. You saw a photo of me on my Instagram. I'm assuming these are the photos from 2 years ago. 2 years ago? Almost 3 years ago when I turned 35. And because it was a turning 35 fitness shoot of me doing shirtless pull-ups with my 6-year-old at the time. Are you saying that caused you to, I don't say caused you to stumble because that just sounds wild, but that made you unfollow a while back? Yes, a while back. I just said, Lord bless his amen wife. Okay, respect. That I'm flattered. I hear the dad bods in these. Yeah, that's interesting. So Leah, I'm then curious. Do you think I was out of pocket for posting that? I am curious. And John Clash, I want to hear from you guys. But by the way, because listen, we talked about it on the last video, right? Pride of life, lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes. I don't need to be right. Like, I don't need to, I'm open to hearing from you guys if you guys think that was out of pocket for me. Was I out of pocket for that? Or were you, it sounds like you were responsible enough to say, yeah, this Instagram's not for me. I'm out. Right? David, I want to hear from you on this. Was I out of pocket for posting a Churning 35 fitness shoot. I don't remember all the photos. Let me see if I could pull them up. Can I pull them up, ladies? Can I pull them up? I don't think they were that wild. No, not at all. It was cool. It was my weakness, so I unfollowed the times that was becoming a distract to me. Take a break. Okay, respect. So thank you, Leah. I really appreciate your transparency and honesty. I know it's probably a little bit uncomfortable, but I really appreciate you being honest in that. So yeah, so this is the question that I think we have to ask. I think at times it wasn't because you were incorporating fitness in the channel. I was there so I can vouch. Yeah, we were talking about fitness a lot. And at some point, we're probably going to do fitness, or I'm going to do a spinoff channel about fitness, or I'm going to partner with a fitness influencer. I'm going to do something about fitness because I think this is an area a lot of you guys got to step it up in, if I'm honest, right? If this was an issue, do you guys think this? Do you guys think this was an issue? I'm really curious. I do think now. Okay, here's how I feel about it now. I do think now, if you say your audience is 73% men, are you assuming there's no men who follow you who struggle and stumble? Whoa! That take an unexpected turn. So, is it the frequency of the photos? Hold on, someone said about Lecrae. Spread the ops. I like this spread the ops. Is it the frequency of the photos? Or is it the type of photos? Or is it the photo at all? Right? Is it the photo at all? Because I would agree that if I'm on here and we're doing Christian content, or if Alan Parr is doing Christian content, or if John McCrae or whoever, and we're like, yo, we're on here, we're doing this, we're talking about Jesus. Primarily, we're known as Christians in the space. For sure. Respect. Okay. So if Alan Parr just lost a bunch of weight, and again, and maybe this is me being in California and we're really into fitness here. Alan Parr just lost a bunch of weight. So if Alan Parr were to post a photo of I'm turning 45 or I just turned 50, here's my fitness transformation. I think my brother's lost like 40 pounds. Shout out to Alan Parr. Would he be out of pocket for doing that? I'm really curious. Would he be out of pocket? Or would it be out of pocket if every other photo was of him in the gym shirtless? That, right? This frequency matter. And please, guys, I am not saying this as a license for Christian people to do whatever they want. That is not what I'm promoting here. But I want to hear from you guys. Alan Parr's lost a bunch of weight. I don't know. I think Alan Parr is turning 45 or 50. He's older than I am. If he posted up, guys, I've been doing this, and this. This has helped my life, changed my life, everything. I feel better. I'm a better husband, better father, blah, 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 blah. If he posts the shirtless photo, would you guys think that's out of pocket? Apparently, it's because Christian YouTube, where you go for safe space. Just share with your wife. Okay. No, it's not out of pocket. No one follows people in fitness whom they cannot see their bodies. It has to be consensual and something not done all the time. He should be allowed to celebrate his success. This is good. It should be inspiring, but the world right now is full of people who sexualize simple things. He would only be out of pocket if he went to the beach with the shirt off. You're silly. I think it's down to what the person is individually dealing with. I've been single for over a decade, and there are times when I'm not even able to enjoy a baseball game without my imagination running wild. I appreciate the honesty. Not in that context. If I got shredded, I personally wouldn't post a shirtless pic. It's not necessary. Okay. Can you unpack that for me, Vaughn, a little bit? And Vaughn, I think you should absolutely get shredded. I could help you do that if you want to. I for real can help you do that. The devil's literally having his way by dividing good Christians. Why would he need that info? If Alan posted a before and after pic, it would be fine with me. A 40-pound weight loss is for inspirational to others. Maybe out of pocket could be considered prideful. Okay. Why prideful? Why prideful? You don't think there's a time and a place for motivational purposes? Right? Like some of you guys, and this is what I mean, Sean. Some of you guys think it's impossible for you to conquer porn. Some of you guys think it's impossible for you to get shredded. Some of you guys think it's impossible for you to make more money. Is there ever a time where, as a Christian, we can say, hey, I did it. Look, you can do it too. Right? Genuine question. I'm not poking. I'm genuinely asking. Because I think that prideful could be considered prideful, but is it prideful? And does it matter, I guess? Depends on how his wife feels. Yes. I think knowing you did it for the glory of God should be enough. You shouldn't need to post personally. Think if a woman posts a bathing suit, don't think it's necessary to post that kind of pic. Yes, to be honest, I feel all people can wear a tank with those. I just finished the video. Why do you have to show the world everything? Pride. See, but this is the issue, Shed Street. I think it's very pretentious to assume that it's pride, because now you act like you know what's in that person's heart. And I just think that's super yucky. To be honest, I cringe whenever I see old photos of me shirtless. Okay, tell me why. But can we talk about how some of these fitness pages are basically, I don't know. First of all, I don't follow any women that are fitness pages. But I follow men, and I don't think men are, but then maybe because I'm not attracted to men. So yeah, maybe there's that. Ladies, do you feel like fitness pages are pornography? I really want. Okay, let's do this. Can I show you guys some examples? Because I think this is an important conversation. If a woman posts cleavage, not bathing suit, is that less? If a woman posts cleavage, not bathing suit, is that less sexual? No, it's not less sexual. I think you could be sexual in a dress. You can inspire without the shirtless pic. A nice fitted shirt would do the same effect. Maybe. Maybe. Can't you just type inspirational post and not post a picture? So I think some people need to see it to believe it. Maybe for his circle, but not for everyone on the internet. When you get to your 40s, it's worth celebrating. You got to know your audience. And if y'all see me shirtless in Mexico next week, don't judge me. John Clash knows he about to post a shirtless photo. It's not possible to overcome P, but hard as heck, women struggle to respect. Yes, women struggle too. I would say that I think men and women are wired a little different, and I think men are kind of naturally more predisposed to it, but maybe that's some bias on my part. Seeds of arrogance. Wow. I'm taken aback by how many people are Christian psychics and mind readers in this chat. You guys are really something. That's interesting. I agree with you 100%. I need to cut out porn and get my mind right, cost. But just curious if you believe that society has no responsibility, however, to provide reasonable accommodation. Does society have responsibility for my success? I don't know if society has responsibility for my success, because I think what we start saying then is that weaponizes the everybody's out to get me type of mentality. And I don't think that that's society's problem, right? I find them distracting, but that's me. Yes, nobody should have their shirt off regardless of the reason. Wow, nobody should ever have their shirt off regardless of the reason? How about in the shower? How about at the beach? How about at the pool? Fitness pages make me stumble, so I don't follow any of them. It's legit soft. Whoa, really? Hold on a second. You're handsome, Ruslan, so once women see your flesh, it can take an excited double look. But thank you for saying I'm handsome. Yeah. So if your wife posted a pic in spandex shorts and a sports bra to show her results, would you feel differently? I wouldn't feel differently. If my wife just lost a ton of weight, if she wanted to, I mean, she posts stuff of her at the gym, but it's not like her butt going deep into a squat, but she will post stuff of her working out occasionally from time to time. But I'm not even on Instagram like that to see. Shout out to Sean for the super chat. I appreciate you, my guy. I have a friend over 50 that goes to the gym and is shredded better than most 20-year-olds. He's always posting shirtless pics at the gym. Maybe it's the frequency that matters. Not sure. I think that's great. My wife prefers me to have a shirt on in public, so I respect her. Yes, that's, again, personal conviction, wisdom, sin. You guys see, you see there's a spectrum here, right? You guys see there's a spectrum here. Personal conviction, wisdom, sin. There's a spectrum there, right? So, I feel like the intent matters. Yeah, definitely the intent matters. I wanted to start pulling up examples, but I don't want to cause anybody, because I think of like Jeff Cavalier. I think of my buddy Trizzle. I think of specific people who are not doing it in a way to look sensual or zesty. This is a good point, right? This is a good point. Good to see differences in body fat. Not easy with shirts on. Yes. I think it's okay to be proud of how you look, especially if you put in the work. Women yoga fitness teachers on YouTube do their leggings and tees create pornographic thoughts in men. I definitely think there are certain types of yoga that's super sus. Yes. Yes, absolutely. It is different for men than women, though, unfortunately. Yes, I definitely think there is certain types of yoga stuff that's just like, whoa. And I've had to unfollow Christian women that I know who all of a sudden got into yoga and every other pose is them doing, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, ugh, no thank you, right? But I don't know their intent. I don't dismiss them as prideful, arrogant, but Jezebels. I just go, yeah, nah, I'm going to hit mute on this account or I'm just going to unfollow. You know, if you pull up examples of someone going to make a video about you, right? Yeah, super sus, super sus. But you see the charity extended, right? The charity extended is, I don't believe the worst about you, right? I don't believe the worst about you. Some of you guys believe the worst about everybody, and I think that's projection there, right? I think it's less about us being different and more about what media men and women are more likely to be stimulated in. I agree. I just think it's sad when we sexualize people so easily but can't see them as a child of God. That's a great point. That's a great point. And I definitely think there's a difference between like a thotty thirst trap and a woman who just had a fitness transformation. I think there's a difference there, right? Like, and again, I don't follow any like fitness women, but if that kind of stuff pops up on Instagram, on like the, you know, I open up the page or it's an ad or something, I think there's a difference there for sure. What's sexual for a man isn't what's sexual for a woman. We should remember this. Also, most of the women who do yoga and fitness do it to show off sexuality. It always turns into gains. I don't know if I agree with that necessarily. Intent behind the reason for shame. Hold on. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Intent behind the reason for sharing the photo matters. Some deep squat fitness photos of girls in leggings are straight scandalous. I would say intent and impact to a certain degree, right? Intent and impact to a certain degree. Because a girl might be oblivious. Like, let's just say a pastor's daughter is getting fit and she's doing a deep squat and everybody who follows her are all the Christian men and she got the angle and her intent isn't necessarily to do that. But I would say the impact if all dudes are dropping heart emojis in the Instagram, I would say the impact matters too. Right? I liked your old studio set. Sorry, it just came in. I don't know what you're talking about. This is a work in transition. This is the podcast studio. I like being able to sit down. We do the main videos on the other studio. So we're using both studios. Do you think the pastors and spiritual leaders who tell someone in their journey should be given a second chance? Who what? Letters who fell. Oh, who fell. I don't know. I think you have to give me a specific example. It's true, Ruslan. We need to remember the fruits of the Spirit and check our hearts and how we perceive people. Satan wants us to give up on people in our house and not spread the gospel. Goes both ways. These bodies are bound to corrupt. Why put them on display? Whoa, bodies are bound to corrupt? These bodies are bound to corrupt? Huh? Are you saying like eventually we're going to die bodies? Or are you saying like our bodies are bound to corrupt other people? I don't know about that. Showing a before and after photo of my recomposition and doing some bodybuilding poses with shirt on or off. I still do it. As Christians, we really need to spread the word for people for them to know Christ and have a conviction. Well, it only decreases the chances of sinning. The flesh is wicked and we have to walk in the Spirit. LOL, even if you break down the science of a deep squat in your post, someone is going to sexualize it. Understanding impact comes with maturity. That's a good point. Understanding impact comes with maturity. But if we find you attractive, and it's our responsibility to not allow us to get worked up. I agree. It's easy validation without asking for it when you do fitness or yoga. A man and a woman can have the same thing to work out and do yoga, but it's always different for obvious reasons. Interesting. Literally know this guy that was heavy into God, but also loved doing yoga. This man lost his mind now. Spirits have really taken over. I think we got to be specific on what we mean by yoga. Are we talking about, thank you for the compliment. Are we talking about stretching or are we talking about meditating to to false gods, right? I think there's a huge difference. What are we talking about when we say yoga? Because a lot of times we're saying different things. I've never taken a yoga class, just FYI. So it's not me endorsing yoga. All right, somebody said, I cringe when I see old photos of me shirtless. Isn't because I didn't like how I looked, but I had the wrong motives and was immature. That's good. That's good. Yoga means to yoke. I believe that Girl Meets Kingdom yoga is about praising all the various Hindu gods. At the end of the day, if you think a Christian is in the wrong on something and won't hear it, please pray for them. Amen. The intentions matter for both parties, the person posting and the person reacting. I agree. Can we accept that we live in a hypersexualized society and see things almost always sexually and that part of the problem, and we need to change our thinking? I would halfway agree. Let me come back to that. There's a fine line where intention versus impact is distorted. I think with social media pics, the focus shouldn't be what's their intention, but why did this impact me? Yoga and should be sensual. Yoga. Not a folks talking about yoga. I think stretching is good, but actually doing the yoga, I wouldn't. Yeah, again, I've never done a yoga class, so I don't even know what are we talking about. I think it'd be how we define yoga, right? Like, how do we define yoga? This is a great question. What do you guys think about this? Do you think nuns and Muslim women who wear their hijab are following the ideal form of modesty for women? I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Do nuns and Muslim women who wear their hijab and following their ideal form of modesty? So you think the stand? Hold on. This is going left. You think the standard of modesty is nuns and Muslim women with the hijab, with the or what with the ninja? I don't know what the other one's called. The one where we just see their eyes. You guys think that's the standard of modesty? Is that really? Okay. There's a few of you that said yes. I think that's a bit obsessive in this age. Muslim have virtually no problem, but that doesn't mean it's right. Muslim seems to come at it like the men aren't also the problem. For example, for Pastor Phone. Okay, let me come back to that question. Nuns and monks are never considered the norms. Were discouraged from even reading monk material since it was different. No, but standard of modesty is cultural. Standard of modesty is cultural. But no, you can't say it's cultural. You can't say what's explicit is cultural. It depends. Modesty in their context. It's biblical. It's biblical. Are you serious? Oh, it's Hilarious Tate. We got a Hilarious Tate troll in here. We made it. I think women who wear hijabs are doing solely because they're told to do so, not because it's how they choose to honor God. That would be hard for women. I thought modesty is beyond how you dress, but more how you live your life. I've seen how Jabe women flex designer lifestyles. Ruslan just said flexing was immodest. Come on. It's easier to completely remove viewing women's bodies as a reality. Standards of modesty is definitely cultural. My husband don't always see eye to eye in this area. He's Hispanic. I'm Caucasian. If I was in that culture, I would follow suit. Well, you wouldn't have a choice if you were in that culture. Let's keep it a buck. Because it's you either get in line or depending on, if you're in Pakistan or something or Afghanistan. Wow. The burkas. Wow, man. What an interesting time we live in. Goodness. All right. So, yeah, no, I don't think that's the standard at all. Okay, here we go. So Shaw asked, for example, if a pastor fell into adultery or financial scam, do you think they should be given a second chance? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Take tots. If a pastor falls into a scam, do you think they should be given a second chance? I think I would be curious on your guys' thoughts. Shout out to Leah for becoming a channel member. I appreciate you. Should a pastor who fell into sin be given a second chance? I think it would depend on the type of sin. I think it's the type of sin we're talking about. If a pastor had a financial scandal, that's a little different than if they committed adultery and got divorced, right? I'm probably not going to the church of a pastor who was a pastor, committed adultery, got divorced, or committed adultery and reconciled and came back to the pulpit. I'm probably not going to that sort of church. That's me. How can we teach our young men to de-objectify women's bodies, though? I think Ruslan correctly identified this as the root cause of the issue mid-debate. Absolutely, it's the root cause of the issue. Absolutely. When people say society is more sexualized, what time period would imagery that we have now been considered? I mean, listen, what do we... 20 years ago, 20 years ago, Janet Jackson had her boob out on the Super Bowl. Like, I think things were, in my opinion, worse in the late 90s and early 2000s. Right? So, yeah, and thank you for the super chats, by the way. Yeah, I absolutely think that society has gone back and forth, you know? I think society has gone back and forth. I think, was it the Panthers versus the Patriots? I think we've seen things sway in one extreme, especially in hip hop. Like I remember you had like the Lil Kims and just a straight debauchery, you know? And then you had the Lauryn Hills. And Lauryn Hill was the biggest artist for a while. And she was not, I think Lauryn Hill was very modest, right? I think today you got the whole like City Girls thing and all this kind of stuff. And I think that stuff is, you know, Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B. I think that stuff is pretty toxic and unhelpful and pornographic. But are they worse than the stuff in the 90s? I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, Prince was out here making some very raunchy music. You know? We need to feed people lines of entertainment. Now we just shoot them on screens. We need to feed people lines of entertainment. Because you bought me shrimp. I bought you shrimp. Was this shrimp? Appreciate you, brother. Thank you to my brother, John Clash, for the super chat. So I don't know. John, we're about the same age. You think things have gotten worse or better? I don't know if I would say things have gotten worse. I think they've been pretty bad for a long time. I think things have been pretty bad for a long time, in my opinion. The 90s were wild, man. The 90s were wild. Britney Spears caused me to stumble when she was on MTV. That hit me a baby one more time. All I was trying to do is get my Neosporin coupon. Neosporin? I don't know what that is. Everything is getting normalized. So therefore, that Britney Spears hit me one more time video. Don't go look that video up. Talk about fetishizing. Is that the word? Fetishizing? Fetishizing women to be more girly-like. Which I was just talking to my buddy from Exodus Cry. And they were talking about how that was a whole genre in the adult entertainment industry. And they were fetishizing 19, 20-year-old girls to appear younger, to appear like little girls with little pigtails. And this was the number one video. on TRL. That was dark, guys. So I don't know if things have gotten, worse. I think it's been pretty bad since the 80s, in my opinion. 70s. I mean, you want to look back at, schoolgirl fetish. Yeah, that's dark, fam. That's dark. Like this is dark. When you start dark, that's different. That's different levels of dark, right? I would say yes, but there needs to be a time of rebuilding and proving oneself. Okay, for the pastor question, yes. Sure did. Disney monetized that as well. Messed up kids. It is good today that believers talk freely about content. Yes. I don't think it's worse. There are more of a lot of things and agree with biblically being pushed. Yes. Mickey Mouse Club. Yeah, man, that stuff was worse. He said the attack on Christianity is worse. Can you give me an example, David? Jennifer's body, to my Jennifer Lopez. Yeah, I don't know, man. The 90s were rough, but I wasn't around in the 60s, but I heard the 60s were rough. Free love, the hippie movement. What do you think free love was about? It's about folks getting it on. If you, listen, I know this isn't cool to talk about. If you look at the average number of partners non-Christians have, the generation today, Gen Z, is having the least amount of sex out of all the generations prior to it. Gen X and the boomers were wild. Wild. They just didn't have the internet. Gen X and the boomers was wild. This generation is having the least amount of partners and the least amount of actual sex. So when we say like we live in a sexualized culture and all this kind of stuff, I just go, yeah, I think it's been pretty dark for a while. But if you don't have a popular shape, people don't complain or sexualize it. That's interesting. Yeah, so I don't like this whole like the world is, we're in the last days, Jesus coming back any minute. Like, yeah, maybe. Jesus, we've been in the last days for 2,000 years though, right? Many secularists are just mocking Jesus. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Are we close to the end times? Gen Z doesn't have sex because of pornography. I don't know if that's it. Yeah, I don't know if that's it. I think these folks, they got Tinder, fam. They got Tinder. I didn't have Tinder, but if I wasn't a Christian and I was a 21-year-old non-Christian with Tinder, man, I don't know. So I think they have more access. I think there's something weird going on that has nothing to do with either or. I don't think it's because of porn. I think there's something else going on. Yeah, we've been in end times since Jesus died. Absolutely. So I think this whole it's getting worse. I don't know. I think it's been bad for a long time. The end times has been coming years. Yeah, I think it's been bad for a long time. I think if you read 1 Corinthians, I think that sounds really wild. 1 Corinthians 5, dudes smashing his mom in church or his stepmom. 1 Corinthians 5, this is a church. This is a church, and they knew about it. And Paul's writing a church, right? So, was it worse then? Or is it worse now? I don't know. I don't hear any stories of a dude being influential in a local church and sleeping with his mom or his stepmom and then being cool about it. Today, I mean, that just gives you pretty wild description of what was going on in the Bible times. Yeah? Can we agree that was pretty bad? Every generation swears their young folks are the worst and we're in the end times. Why does the older generation act brand new? Come on. Ruslan, exactly. We used to feed people to lions for entertainment. Come on. Gen Z has problems with communication and socialization. I think the pandemic did Gen Z in low key with that. I think it hits some folks differently, Rude, that aren't on the West Coast. One has to be. Yeah, maybe again. I'll be frank that it's I have a lot of selection bias. It's cold for 4 to 6 months of the year. Y'all be indoors 4 to 6 months of the year in Illinois. We're outside all the time. Outside, December, January, February, outdoors, all the time. Also, men are soft now, super feminized. Women aren't attracted to soft men. Well, according to global website traffic data from Statista, the top 3 sites have received 5.8 billion visits per day. Yeah, but revenue for PORN is down. Remember that whole thing? They make more money than sports and NFL and NBA. That's down though, right? That's way down. And Pornhub supposedly is about to shut down. Because they can't take MasterCard, Discover, anything like that. Yeah, catch me outside. We're gonna play a quick commercial break. I'm gonna grab a colder beverage. Because we got merch on sale. The store is restocked. This hoodie is available now and it's restocked. I'm going to come right back. We're going to get into a couple more of your questions and your super chats, and then we'll wrap up later in a little bit, all right? So check out some of the merch. Hey, this video is brought to you today by our very own Bless God shop. The name Bless God is inspired by Luke chapter 2, verse 28, where Simeon encounters a baby Jesus in the temple and proceeds to, quote, bless God. The apparel is intended as a daily reminder to live our life in a way that brings honor and blessing to God. Check out the link to the shop in the description or in the pinned comment below and pick up some of the most sustainable and high quality apparel out there. All right, we are back. I'm from Houston. What is this winter you speak of? Y'all ain't got winters in Houston. Yeah, listen, we're outside all the time in California. So that may be... Yo, the wild part about OnlyFans, and I just understood this now, is that it's not just about men looking at PORN. The wild part is that they're paying... most of the money is through messages being sent over for the need to connect. Do you guys know this? That's weird. That's weird. Now, as a guy who has been addicted to porn in the past, and I mean addicted, I couldn't control my body. Like, that's how it felt. That's what I define as an addiction. I have never paid for it. Never paid for it. So the fact that OnlyFans is probably going to completely blow out PORN hub, and the majority of the revenue that's made is through messaging. I can't wrap my brain around that. Help me understand. Help me understand. And I don't want to put anybody on blast. Sad to think that is connect trafficking. Do you think the political climate is the signal of a second coming? I don't know. I don't know about that. The question is, for those of you guys who have struggled with this, as I have never, ever, 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 ever paid for it. However, what keeps OnlyFans profitable is not the subscriptions, it's the paid messages. And that's how Andrew Tate and his brother said they scammed dudes out of, upwards of $1 million, some of these guys. Yeah, you literally read my mind, that boy. He said, literally read my mind. He said, one thing I saw Andrew Tate and his brother talk about was how cam girls would have worked for them. We're talking mostly depressed dudes who they talked about killing themselves through selling a dream. Yes. Because it's going to get demonetized and flagged. So, I don't mean to shame anyone, but that is something that blows my mind. Yeah, I don't even know if OnlyFans is I don't know if that's a website or an app. Is it an app or a website? I don't know. I was in the POR industry for a short amount of time, was dating a cam girl who got me into it. That's what OnlyFans was before OnlyFans. We made most money from people who just want to talk. Hold on, John. Was she this is a revelation to me, my brother. Was she the cam girl or was you in the mix? This man, John Clash, is the world's most interesting man. Talk about a testimony. Hold on, bro. You got to unpack that. You got to unpack this for me. John, you got to unpack this for me. You were dating a cam girl, or y'all was a cam couple? Because this is a revelation. This man John got the wildest life. This man was making music. He was out here running a business. He lives in Puerto Rico. His family's from Yonkers. Grew up hanging out with the Locks, DMX. I don't know if you really did. Run that back, John. I'm going to need you to clarify. I'm going to let you finish, but I'm going to need you to clarify. Yo, John, you got to break this down for me, my guy. You got to help me out. You got to help me out. This is a revelation. Yeah, I'm not glossing over that one. Shout out to all the channel members, by the way. And shout out to all the Patreon. I appreciate you guys. It really does help. We got a bunch of stuff that we're working on, and your guys' support is the best. If you're not a Patreon, please consider becoming one. It really does help. Is every tongue talking or churchgoer a true believer? Is it enough to conclude that they're truly saved? No. Folks can fake tongues. I know folks who fake tongues that were not saved, weren't regenerated. Hold on, John. I only got 120 characters to type. We worked separately, never together. Whoa! Hold on. Wait. You had a cam business as well? Okay, you got to make a video about this, John. We need a video about this. You had a cam business, bro? Hold on. Your own cam business, or was it with women? I'm taking it back. The delay from the chat till you get the message is so much. Yeah. Okay, so you didn't do stuff together. You did stuff separate. What does that mean? Does that mean you had your own cam business with other women? He said this before he was saved, but this is wild. So, again, I'm shocked that how this came up is that I'm shocked that in today's climate, folks are spending money on messaging these people because they're selling them the dream. I don't understand the psychology of that. I understand men wanting to look at women's bodies. I get it. I understand women wanting to look at men's bodies. I understand women wanting a connection. They did studies and they found out that 70% of men who cheat, not that 70% of men cheat, but 70% of men who do cheat, they cheat strictly out of convenience and because there's another sexual option. But what they found is that women who cheat do it because of a connection, of an emotional connection with somebody else. Now, it's very difficult for me to understand why men would want an emotional connection with a cam girl and be willing to pay thousands of dollars a month for that. So I need someone to, if I'm tracking, I could hypothetically see women wanting this, but I can't see men doing this. It's very interesting. Lost my job. Didn't want to sell drugs, so I did this. We were part of a company who recruited people to be cam girls and cam guys. Wow. John, that's crazy, bro. You've literally done everything there is to do. This man, John, has done everything there is to do. Loneliness is a big log of porn addicts who are suicidal. Wow. Probably getting to the real issue with some people, it's not the porn, but the companionship, and the industry capitalizes on it. Oof, that's dark. Some men need the emotional connection too. I understand why some women would pay for love in itself. They're paying for the simulation of a connection with a real girl. It's like guys paying for paintball competitions or reenacting the Civil War. It's not real, but the experience is to die for. Probably men who lack self-confidence. Men aren't simple as we think. Our biases are very strong, and we think we can represent everyone in our gender. That's a good point. It's crazy, though. She had a stalker show up in town. Wow. That's not the crazy part to me, John. What a testimony, huh? What a testimony. What a testimony. Yeah, I like this video. This is a you're not going to get this conversation anywhere else. I tell you what, these sorts of revelations. So, I guess with that, I would understand why someone like John would probably feel a way different about maybe posting a shirtless photo today. I get it. I understand. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think there's so many different layers to our experiences and all that kind of stuff. I also read that Christian porn addicts don't have healthy social lives, spend too much time alone, fight with family, feel they don't belong. This is a part of the battle. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard. Delilah said, wait, where's Delilah? It's for the same reason men used to pay call girls. It's the desire or connection, and it makes the fantasy more real when you can see and hear them almost as good as physical. Wow. Some guys want need girlfriend experience. That's what most of those messages are about. Goodness. Men will pay to be noticed. That is why these women get more money from direct or private messages. What? All right. So 7.7 billion people, 22 in the world. Top 3 porn sites in the world receive a combined 8.1 billion website visit per month. That's how much okay, you're saying, but those aren't unique users, right? Just visits, right? We have to be vigilant guarding our holiness. Yes. Noticed or heard. Maybe had some mommy issues. God's grace, bro. I'm so grateful. Wow, man. Yeah, this is definitely an interesting time that we live in, to say the least. With regards to these sorts of things. Yeah. Today's huge and successful ministries practice the debt culture. Is that an example? Considering that the word asks us not to be under debts. Rephrase that for me. I'm a bit confused, Shaw. I think it's akin to how babies need physical touch to survive the first few months of life. The need for connection is literally built into our DNA, and we'll take it any way we can get it. What are the standards of modesty in the Bible? I know the standards in the Quran and the Hadith. Well, that's the thing. I think this is the part where people get tripped up. The Bible presents principles with modesty, not literal black and white standards. I don't know if the Quran and the Hadith do, but that's not it. You know. Why isn't virginity purity a big deal among men compared to women? What's your take on this? That's a great question. I don't know. I mean, to me, I think you should wait. I think the scriptures are clear on that. I think that men are definitely impacted by not waiting. And women are too. The question becomes, are men and women impacted the same by not waiting? And from my research, it's very rudimentary, the higher the number of partners you have, the harder it is to pair bond. Meaning bond in a long-term relationship or marriage. But what they found is that this truth is a bit more detrimental on women than it is on men. Meaning that a man can have more partners than a woman, and it's not as big of a deal for him to pair bond with a wife and be monogamous to her. What they found is that women who have high number of partners, it is harder for them to pair bond. It's harder for them to pair bond and get in a relationship long term. And I believe Dr. David Butch, I think, said this. And so I think that's why, is that I think we know that, or I would assume that the higher the number of partners, the harder it's going to be to function in a relationship. And that for women, this tends to be harder than it is for men. And to be fair, men on average have more partners than women. We're talking about non-Christians, right? And I would say Christians too, right? Christian men I know who get saved technically tend to have more partners than women. And the numbers vary, but they say the average for a man, based on the CDC numbers I've seen, the average base for a man is 6. The average for a woman is 4. Okay. That's where it comes down to. And averages can be weird because then you're talking about, you got to factor in outliers. So men can have more partners than women and still be able to pair bond. And it seems like from the research I've seen that it's harder for women to pair bond if they have more partners. It doesn't mean it's impossible. That doesn't mean you're irredeemable. That doesn't mean any of that. It just means there's different challenges presented. So if that's true, then I could understand why that's a thing, you know? I think we don't teach our boys to value their bodies, even though they experience guilt and shame at the same rate. We'll take advantage of men to use as soldiers and providers with no care for them. That's a good point. Liam, thank you for the super chat. He said, here's the thing. If you see a workout pic and you lust, are you going to blame the pic or say, I don't want to lust anymore and go get your mind right? Liam, you make too much sense, my guy. You make too much sense. You make too much sense. I feel like I've been saying this for a while. Ruslan, I have only had negative experiences with women all my life. How do I deal with this? Any advice? Marty said, body count is one thing. Mind count is just as bad. Once you go there neurologically. Off ramps required. Interesting. I do think there's something to the body count. I do think there's something to that physically, but I could hear you in terms of saying that the mind is there. Yeah, I think people who think rap is evil are goofy, and
That's goofy.
I think they should get off my YouTube channel if they think that. As someone that's provided for my family off of rap for a very long time, and I still make money off that. Okay, so let's unpack this. Why do you think the body positivity movement focuses on women more than men? I don't know. That's a good question though. So let's unpack this. You've had bad experiences with women. Okay. So if you've had bad experiences with Raiders fans, which I have. Shout out to all the Raiders fans. If you have bad experience with Raiders fans, do you then dismiss all Raiders fans and the Raiders institution and the organization as bad in and of themselves? It's a hypothetical question. The answer is no. You don't. We don't dismiss every Raiders fan out there. You don't dismiss every one that ever played for the Raiders, the institution, the organization, the game of football. Because sometimes negative experiences can be very condensed. Negative experiences could be very condensed. So if you're a Chargers fan and the Chargers have had a long-running feud with the Raiders, and a lot of times when you go to those games, they can turn violent, your experience is going to dictate your perception, but your experience may not reflect everyone who is a part of said organization. So if we parallel this to women, I would say, well, what kind of women? What kind of women? What cities? What ages? What social upbringings? With family, cultural things? What context have you experienced women? That would be my first question. The second question would be, can you open yourself up to different types of women? Do you know any women who are different? That would be my next question. Do you have access to a church, an organization? Do you have sisters, cousins, friends? I think that's a valid question, right? And then I would say, are there things that you can work on to attract the type of woman who would allow you to not have a negative experience? Because if you go, well, all girls are sluts. No. All girls you've talked to right? Well, all girls are hypergamous. No, the girls you've talked to are hypergamous. So, what type of women, what type of men, and can you become the type of man to attract the type of woman that you want to be with? Right? So, if you want a woman who is going to be respectful, going to be flexible, going to be wants to have kids, going to be fit, right? If that's the type of woman you want, are you becoming the type of man that will attract that type of woman? I want a godly woman. I want a virgin. I want a woman that's not a slut. Well, are you the type of man that's going to attract that type of woman? Honest question. No, I don't think standards are better than principles. Principles are standards, but standards are black and white. So, the thing about the type of woman most men want is that those types of women have fathers. The woman you want, who's feminine, who's fit, who's fun, who's modest, who loves Jesus, who has friends and an identity outside of your relationship, are usually going to have fathers that have trained them up to respect themselves, to respect their bodies, and the fathers will sniff right through you, or the uncles, or whoever, whatever male role model, because they have confidence, they have self-esteem, they come from a good family. She is not an Instagram model. She is not an OnlyFans model, right? So you've had negative experiences. One, I would say, well, that's maybe that's selection biased, or maybe you're attracting the type of woman you are, right? Maybe you're attracting the type of woman you are. I've had so many positive friendships and conversations with women. I have more respect for them and can empathize with them more. I've had an extremely tough time making male friends. I'm not sure why, but I think the more we become who we want to attract, the more we become the type of person that we would want to attract, the less likely we're going to attract people from the opposite end of the spectrum. And so I think my advice would be, one, change your mentality about women in your mind that not all women are like this. And this is why I discourage people from consuming a lot of the red pill type of content, because I think that just generalizes all women as a specific way, right? Because not all women are, right? Women are different in Africa than they are in Europe, than they are in Russia, than they are in South Asia, than they are in California, than they are in New York, than they are in Texas, than they are in Alabama. Women are different, culturally speaking. Biologically, women aren't bad or worse. The red pill stuff is really toxic about this with regards to dual mating strategies, which is nonsense. Hypergamy, which is nonsense, or their version of hypergamy. So if you're in South Africa, I think you have to then go through and say, okay, well, where are these women and what kind of guys are they attracted to? Right? What kind of guys are they attracted to? He's in South Africa, it seems like. So if you are in South Africa, where are these women and what kind of guys are they attracted to and what kind of families do they come through and what are their expectations and right? And where are they? Are they in church or are they at the club? They're probably not at the club. Are they at your local high school or are they in the, I don't know, the Christian club of your local high? Like, where are these women? And I think if you can change your perception of women, you can change and you understand what they want, then you can become the type of man that they want. My big bro, a highly educated, high-earning guy, had a hard time with dating. He's an electrician, electrical engineer, computer scientist, and I think was just more comfortable with school and work than women. That's fine. And a time and a place comes where, you know, you are that. But oftentimes you can develop yourself, and then talking to women will become easier as you've become who it is you are hoping to attract. Right? So I got friends that are, they're the same way. But they've done things, they have confidence because they've accomplished things. Confidence comes as a byproduct of having done things. Right? Confidence comes as a byproduct of having done things. This is why we talk about get fit. Go make some money. Go do something. Get off the porn. Right? Get off of Instagram. Go do something with your life. Go do some hard things. Go do some hard things. If you do a bunch of hard things and you prove yourself as capable and competent, you're going to be more confident. Usually how these things work. Now, you might have some social anxiety. You may not know how to start the conversation. What is the first thing I say? But that's all tactical, right? And usually the men that I know who are pulling up and have the options aren't the most eloquent speakers. That's like fantasy internet land. You think all these men are got this crazy game and they study pickup artists. A lot of these guys are just are who they are, and women attract them. I mean, women attract them. The relationships happen organically. They're on Instagram. They're on, you know what I mean? I think a lot of that stuff happens organically. So it's just if you want a modest woman, are you a modest man? If you want a fit woman, are you a fit man? If you want a godly woman, are you a godly man? I had to get comfortable talking talking to men. Retail work helped a lot. I would also recommend speaking with people about things unrelated to dating, then it won't feel so intimidating. Some of us struggle with social interaction very much. Talking to girls come naturally to many people. I'm not one of them. My question would be to you, are you becoming the type of person that would attract the mate, the partner, the wife that you want to spend the rest of your life with? Are you becoming that person? That would be my question. Because I feel like we get caught into the it's like this. It's like this. This is going to be a bad illustration. It's going to be a bad illustration, but I'm going with it anyway. All right, buckle up. It's like this. People approach me and want to talk to me about the how do you build a YouTube thing? How do you build a YouTube business? What do you got to do? Blah, 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 blah. And here's the thing. I can give you all the tactical stuff in the world, but if you don't apply it, it doesn't mean anything. 2, I can give you the tactical stuff, but if you have nothing of value to offer because you haven't done anything with your life yet, because you haven't gone through any adversity, because you haven't become an expert on anything, because you're not equipped and capable, it doesn't matter. So if you are asking me practical questions about YouTube, I can give you the formula. It's not rocket science. It really isn't. And a lot of people think there's some secret. There's no secret. There's no secret. Click-through rate, thumbnails, conflict, curiosity, tension, right? Pacing, first 60 seconds, pull people in. Okay, that's it. That's the tactical stuff. But what are you going to talk about? See, now that's anchored on who you are and what you've done with your life. You see, some people might have a natural gift of gab. They're funny, they're charismatic, so on and so forth. That's different. They're the outlier. Okay? So if you're like, yo, fam, I want to do YouTube. I want to da-da-da-da-da-da. I'd be like, okay, cool. But what have you done? What are you going to build your YouTube business on the back of? What do you have to offer? What is your expertise? So there's 3 layers to it. Layer number 1, the most important thing is, who are you when no one else is around? Who are you? I feel like we're in an era where, especially Gen Z, they could sniff through the fakery. They can sniff through the nonsense. Who are you when no one's looking? 2, do you have the capacity to implement what it takes to become the next version, the 2.0 version of you? And 3 is the practical, tactical side. That's the lowest common denominator of everything we're talking about. Right? So with anything in life, relationships, dating, fill in a blank, with anything in life, foundationally, who are you? Okay, a lot of us, I don't want you to be on YouTube yet, because I think, God forbid, you do go mega viral, it'll ruin you. You do catch a viral video and it'll mess you up. Let's work on the self-development side. Let's work on the foundation. Then we build a house. And then the trimming is right? And so, but you got to have the land. You got to have the foundation. You got to have all of these different things. And so shout out to my buddy Arthur from Apologia Center. He says not everyone is supposed to get married. Not all you guys are going to get married, right? But the vast majority of you want to and will get married, but not everybody's going to. And so this is what I mean by becoming. As you become, the other stuff will get easier for you. This is why a guy like Ryan Pineda, a guy like Alex Hermosi are naturally better YouTubers than a Sneeko. No disrespect to Sneeko. Ryan Pineda and Alex Hermosi went and built multi-8-figure businesses. I think Alex Hermosi built a 9-figure business and then built a YouTube channel based on having accomplished something. Sneeko is just Sneeko. He's just a kid with a lot of opinions about stuff. And he's funny. He's a comedian. But when Sneeko has to sit down with other intellectuals, or Andrew Tate has to sit down with other intellectuals, it's embarrassing a lot of times because their foundations aren't built on anything. Right? So, take it full circle. Do you want to be the Sneeko of dating? A lot of charisma, or do you want to be the, I actually got and built a life and did something with myself and became a godly man, and then I started dating? And we're all starting at different places. We're all different, okay? Some of us are going to have more charisma. Some of us are going to be more confident. Some of us are going to be more likely to have the Dunning-Kruger effect all over us. Different people are different. Yes. But this is how I would think about it. So when it comes to women, and it comes to dating, relationships, all that kind of stuff, Alan Parr is another example. Alan Parr didn't start YouTube until he was in his mid-30s, right? I don't live in LA, Ruslan. Yeah, if you don't understand what you are, it's going to be hard for you to understand what your call is. Absolutely. So you got to understand who you are. You got to understand who you are. You got to understand who you're becoming and who you're going to be in the next season. That confidence has to come from somewhere, right? And I don't expect your parents to instill that in you. My parents didn't do a good job of instilling confidence in me, personally. If that confidence is coming from somewhere else, it's going to come as a byproduct of doing stuff, accomplishing stuff, working a job, getting a promotion at a job, getting another promotion, getting an education, getting all A's. And as you do these things, you become more confident and they become less mystified and you build that confidence. And then things just become things. Right? So like, I was in LA. I don't live in LA, but I was in LA. We did the Minimalist podcast. What was that? Tuesday. It's Friday, Tuesday. And we were early, so we went across the street at the coffee shop. And we were in Beverly Hills, and Zach is like, "Yo, who's the guy that's real popular on TikTok with the eyebrow thing? He did this. He has a lot of popular songs. What's his name? you guys know who I'm talking about. The guy, he's a singer. He did a song with what is this dude's name? I'm drawing a blank. Charlie, was it Charlie Puth? No, it's not Charlie Puth. Is it Charlie Puth? Yeah, Charlie Puth. Charlie Puth. Okay. Thank you. Who just said Charlie Puth? Charlie Puth. And Zach is like, yo, it's Charlie Puth. I was like, oh, for real? He's like, yeah. He just went out and put some money in his he had his Lexus truck, or no, his Benz truck out front. And I was like, where's he at? I was going to go up and say hello. I'm not intimidated by Charlie Puth. He's just a guy. I will walk up on Charlie Puth and share the gospel with him. I have zero concerns about that. I am not concerned. I've walked up to Jay-Z and shared the gospel with him. I am not at all taken aback by someone's status, by someone's charm, by someone's success. I would just do that. He was in and out. By the time I looked back, he was gone. So Zach was like, oh, that's crazy, right? I was like, where you at? I'm going to spark some conversation, right? I'm not the hero of the story. The point of the story is that I'm confident enough in who I am and what I've done and who God has helped me become that I'll walk up to anybody in a situation like that and just be like, yo, what's up, man? You're Charlie Puth. How you doing? My name is Ruslan, right? I'm not a respecter of status, and he's just a guy. And so again, now if I was a 15-year-old fan who is enamored with Charlie Puth, I would probably walk up and fumbling over my words and da, right? That's also normal. So, how do we get men who are struggling with women to become confident in who they are and who they're becoming, that they can walk up to any woman in church, whatever, and just have a normal conversation? I'm not coming up to Charlie Puth trying to close him on Jesus in 5 seconds. Come on to Charlie Puth just to break the ice and say hello and have a conversation. Jay-Z, whoever, right? And so this is what I mean by like become, and as you become, you will figure out how to do the tactical side. You figure out how to do the tactical side. Tactical side is break the ice, make a joke. You know, don't do one of them cheesy pickup lines. You know, so that's how, that would be my advice, is just become who you want to be. Start becoming that person. It's going to take a long time. It's going to take a long time. What are some ways that we as young men can work on becoming? Well, one, we put together a Master My Habits course. Go take that course. It's free. I don't charge for that course. Some of our best courses are free. MasterMyHabits.com. Start there. Go through that. Use the information you learn about that to build a couple keystone habits in your day-to-day so that those keystone habits can catapult you to stay on the trajectory to become the type of person you want to be. If you're building your life in a way where you are staying on the trajectory, and it's going to be a couple habits for you. For me, the keystone habit for me is waking up earlier and going to the gym. If I get up earlier, I get my butt to the gym, I'm more likely, by keystone habit, I just mean it just impacts all the other areas of my life. Keystone habit, I'm going to be more likely to read the Bible. I'm going to be more likely to pray. I'm going to be more likely to get to work earlier. For me, is the gym. If you could factor in, what is that keystone habit for you? If you could do that and lock in on that one thing, then you can build your life around that one thing. And you will, in time, become the type of person you want to be. It takes time. So for you, that could be different. For you, that might be like, I have a lot of time on my hands. I need to take ownership of what I'm consuming. And so as a metaphorical keystone habit, instead of saying, I'm going to not go on Instagram, or I'm going to go on Instagram and not look at girls, instead what you do is you replace it with, I'm going to cook all of my meals every single day, and I'm going to learn how to meal prep and learn how to cook. And that keystone habit might be the thing that sets you up to change everything else about your life. Learning how to cook, it's a symbolic gesture of taking ownership of what you consume and what you put in your body. It's going to replace the time you would have spent on Instagram goofing around and wasting time. And it's congruent with health, fitness, personal responsibility. You're learning a new skill. You're learning to shop. You're learning to cook, right? You can potentially cook for somebody else, right? So I'm just giving you ideas. Find one thing, that one habit, and build around that thing, and you'll be way more likely to tip the scales in your favor in other areas of life. And that keystone habit is going to be different for all of us. Again, for me, it's waking up earlier, right? I used to meal prep. I don't meal prep anymore because I get meal prep delivered to me. So if you find that one thing and you start building on it, then you have to understand the byproduct of what compounding effects are. It's a snowball effect over time, right? It's a snowball effect over time. So snowball effect of a habit, if you eat what you cook and make your own food and you package that with understanding what requires you to lose weight, high protein, high vegetable, high leafy greens diet, and you cut back the processed foods, you cut back the fast food, that over time is going to be substantially better in terms of health and fitness and the way that's going to compound. Like the ROI on that is way better than like, I'm going to go and run 10 miles a day or whatever, right? That has such a radical impact. I was just doing the math on this. I was like, yo, like, it's not worth it for me to jump off of my eating plan. It's not worth it. What do I mean? I mean that to mess around and eat something I shouldn't eat is so many calories, and for me to try to make that up by working out, it's just not worth it. I'd have to do like an hour and a half on the elliptical to make up for eating one bad meal. Right? So let me just be more responsible with what I put in my mouth, pause, instead of trying to make up for it with more exercise. They're two different pots. So food, that's a great one. Learn to cook. Learn to cook and learn to cook the right things and know that the compounding effects with that with minimal effort in the gym. I'm talking just go in, learn a couple compound lifts, eat a high protein diet. If you're 18, 19, I guarantee you go in for a year, not even 6 months. Go in for 6 months, hit your macros, your ideal body weight in protein, lean protein, leafy greens, vegetables, careful with the processed foods, right? And then just halfway work out properly. Halfway learn to bench press. Halfway learn to squat. Halfway learn to do pull-ups. Halfway work out properly. I guarantee you the newbie gains you'll see will blow your mind. It'll blow your mind. And then you go, wait a minute. I did this much with my body in 6 to 12 months? I wonder what else is possible. I wonder what else I could do. Oh, maybe I can go start that side hustle. Maybe I can go develop that other skill that I know I need to be more successful in the marketplace today. So anchor yourself on what is that one thing you need to do. What is that one thing? For me, it's just getting up early. If I get up before 7, my days tend to just go well. So that boy 4, I'm giving you advice about life, man. Keystone habit. Figure out what that habit is. This is called the law of replacement. Figure out what that thing is and just go crazy on it. Just go crazy. Lock in intensity, right? This needs to be said in churches across America. I've been to many churches, and more than 50% of prayer requests are food and health related. And guys, everything I just said is simple. It's simple. It's hard. It's hard though. Simple, but not easy. Yeah, one bad meal a day, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. One bad meal a day, it's a wrap. My wife comes home from Costco. She got pizza for the kids. I have one slice of pizza, and it's like 800 calories. It's a wrap for me. I got to be preventive in eating not pizza, chicken breast, leafy greens, so that when I see the pizza, I'm going to remove myself from the situation, or I'm just going to eat something else, or I'm going to, you know what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. So everything is connected. Don't let anybody tell you that you're an island and everything's done in a vacuum. Everything is connected about your day. Right? So if you know these things and you build your life in these ways, I'm just giving you that as an example. We could apply this to, you know, building a business, starting a channel, starting a side hustle, so on and so forth. It's all connected. It's all connected. The more you do it, the better it is. That Costco pizza is amazing. Isn't something like 70% of overweight? Yeah, 75% of the American population is overweight. 75%. 75% of the population is overweight. Not obese. 40% is obese. 40%. This is staggering, alarming numbers. And then you see the actual causation there between what that means for your life long term. You know? So let's work on these things. Let's figure these things out. You know, figure out the food side, figure out the strength training side, figure out the, you know. I met Jay-Z at backstage South by Southwest when we were the Breaks still. So this was way back. He was this is right before Watch the Throne came out, and at the time, this is like at the peak of all the Illuminati stuff. But it was also around the time he was on tour with U2, and he kept wearing the Jesus is Lord shirt. So that was my road in. Was like, well, what's up with you wearing a Jesus Lord shirt? Very brief conversation, but went right for it. Went right for it. All right, guys, I got to get out of here. I think we're doing music reviews tonight. How big is that slice? Man, them slices are big from Costco. Slices are huge. Those slices are huge. Yeah, so I think we're doing music reviews on the other channel, and we're doing music reviews. We're doing channel reviews, I think, tonight as well. So if you want your channel reviewed, I'll be on the Master My YouTube channel, and then we will be doing music reviews as well. No, I am not Aubrey, your questions are hilarious. I am not a flat earther, okay? No. And I hope you're not either. Okay? More % of people are extremely unhealthy and vitamin deficient, dealing with chronic illness, and then we, the church, mostly just pray about it instead of getting right with our eating habits. Come on. Come on. All right, I got to go, for real. Guys, I appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. We are going to be out of here, and I will be back, I think, tomorrow. All right? Jesus took our sins. Google Ruslan meal prep or Ruslan workout. You can find it. It's older videos. You can find those easily. I did a video on eating healthy for cheap. I did a video on meal prep. I did a video on working out with my trainer. I had him on about a year ago on the stream. So yeah, all these videos are up here. You just got to look up. You just got to look them up. All right? All right, I got to go. Love you guys. Sign up for the Patreon if you guys want to go to extra mile. It really does help. Okay? Peace.